We just did a very good shoot interview with Shane Douglas. Do you have any comments about your experiences with him?
Shane Douglas was awesome. Again, I was only in the wrestling business a year and a half before I went to ECW, and the fact that guys would go out of their way to help me meant the world to me, because a lot of people tried to get it into ECW and not everybody stuck. If you didn't immerse yourself into that locker room and fit in, the ECW guys policed themselves pretty good. If you weren't cut out, you didn't hang around. And the fact that a guy like Shane Douglas would help me here and there, because there was a series of times where Sandman was brutal with that Singapore cane. I laugh about it now, but sometimes he would hit you, and it felt like you were getting hit by a Louisville Slugger. And sometimes he would cane you in the head, sometimes he'd get you in the nose, sometimes he'd get you in the teeth. One time Sandman caned me right here perfectly in the forehead, and I reached over and he yanked a thing of skin off my back to where I went to lay down. I went to take a shower, and so as like the soapy water hit down, I'm like, ah. But there was a moment where in upstate New York, Orange County Fairgrounds, and we had done something with Raven. We weren't the BWO yet. We're still a Raven, but it was always feed in. Raven would go down, feed in. Same with whack one, whack the other, whack me, whack Nova, whack Stevie. And he whacked Stevie, and for whatever reason, Stevie just went down and his legs went to jelly, and they were worried about Stevie. And Shane spoke up, and it's like, hey man, maybe you should take it a little bit easy on these kids. And during the week, my phone rings, I pick it up, and it's Shane. Hey Brian, how you doing? Shane Douglas. And I go, hey Shane, how you doing? He's like, you all right? I know Stevie got hurt from that cane. How you feeling? You okay? I'm like, I'm good, but thank you for calling. And then we start talking about heavy metal, because he's a big metalhead like me. But if I had a match, another cool thing about ECW, you could go out and have a match. You walk through the curtain and somebody pull you aside, hey, this is good, but maybe try that or try this. And plenty of times, Shane Douglas was that guy that, pull me and anybody in the locker room and say, hey, this is cool, but do another thing. And I have to give Shane credit, because he, made him, along with guys like Terry Funk, Sabu, Taz, made ECW a place you would want to try to get into, because it seemed like the next big thing. I remember those early ECW shows where, there was barely a crowd, and, ring announcer Bob Ortiz would have to get on the mic and say, hey, if you want to be seen on television, come fill the bleachers. I'm trying to make everybody get on the opposite, the opposite side of the hurricane, so the crowd would look full. But then, there's Shane Douglas, Sabu, and Terry Funk drew our first legit sellout with the night the line was crossed. And that attendance was built on, that feud with, Shane Douglas, Sabu, and Terry Funk. And then Shane Douglas cut the promo of all promos, with Sherry Martel and Todd Gordon. And just, the first time you see somebody swear in a wrestling promo, even though they beeped it, he swear, he said the F word. Finally, I put to rest the fucking Funk family. You're like, oh my God, he just swore. That means he really meant that shit, So, he was one of the forefathers of ECW, and being a young guy in the company, the fact that he embraced me into the company, along with all the other guys who were the patriarchs of ECW and Extreme Wrestling and all that stuff. It was I'm singling out Shane, but it was a group effort. But Shane was one of the guys that, was the trailblazer and helped legitimize ECW, because he had come from, WCW and NWA, and he was tag teaming with, Ricky Steamboat and doing all these cool things. So the fact that he gave a shit enough to give me some advice was invaluable. I never got paid $1 million in this business, but one thing I did get paid royally in was experience and friendships.